very much, Billy. Sorry, I'm going to have to read mine out, but thank you all for coming, and thanks so much, Billy, for asking me to come and speak today. The safety and protection of children is everyone's duty. Child abuse can happen anywhere, in the home, institutions, churches, sports clubs. It's not exclusive to any nationality, ethnicity or religion, and all should be condemned. All children should be brought up in a safe environment, nurtured.
Mr. Common Sense, whether he's elected or not though, he's always going to be the people's mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Buckley.
Thank you, Billy, and thank you everybody for coming today. Let's start with some excellent news. The news is we're winning. This is the beginning of the and yes, they have, and they should keep them. And as I said to those officers, we'll see you in court for unfair dismissal. That's where we'll see you. And we may have lost some of the cases. We may have lost all the cases and had to pay him off. I would have taken that. I'd accepted that. Why? Because finally we'd have got those people in court. We'd have got those people answering for their dereliction of duty, for their incompetence, for them turning a blind eye, for them not caring, and we'd have it out in court. That would have sent a message around the whole UK of the days of you getting away with allowing our children to be raped are over. We don't care where you live, who you work for, we're going to have you in court. Now, if we're going to prove any of them at a higher level, let's prosecute them. I don't care what we do. The Americans got the gangster not on killing people, he got them on tax avoidance. I don't care how we get them, I just want some people in court, prosecuted, and hopefully some in jail. That's how we stop it, because at the moment you can work for the state, you can work for us, because we're the taxpayers, you work for us, and they say, I don't care, there's nothing you can do to me, I work for the council, I work for the police, I work for government, there's nothing you can do. I want that to change. I want the people who work for us to go, I'm afraid of you, not physical violence, but I'm afraid of you because you pay my wages, and therefore I'm going to look after you better, and I'm going to do my job better. We're not asking for much in this country, are we? We just want our children not to be abused and raped. That isn't much to ask for. And the mayor can do it, the mayor can do it tomorrow. All he has to do is to have a backbone. That's all it takes to solve this problem, is a backbone. And one of these days, we'll get a politician in a position of power who'll have a backbone, and this problem will end, and then you will see what we're going to do to the people who allowed it to continue. So, keep your chin up, keep screaming into the wind, because people are beginning to hear it now. Keep tweeting about it, speaking to your family and friends, and don't let this issue die, because that's what they want this to do. They thought we'd all go away, but we've not gone away, we've kept it alive, and now this is an international issue. We will get justice. Justice is coming. A lady said to me before, Nick, I can sense change, and she's right. I can smell change in the air in this country. So many things are going to change over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It started in Europe, it started in America, we're just behind the curve, but it's going to start here. So chin up, keep fighting, we are the ones that matter, because if we stop, it all ends. Thank you, everything you've done has been appreciated, and keep going. Thank you.
Well done, Nick. Well said, Nick.
And we're waiting for Billy, I'll sing a song.
Figaro.
Right guys, again once more for the people's mayor, Nick Buckley. At this moment in time, I'm exasperated with Rochdale Council. It's got me kind of wishing that I lived in Wigan for this amazing lady who's going to speak next, who took on the Wigan Council and forced them to support an independent inquiry, a national independent inquiry. Please give a warm welcome to Maureen O'Byrne.
Very much, Billy. Sorry, I'm going to have to read mine out, but thank you all for coming, and thanks so much, Billy, for asking me to come and speak today. The safety and protection of children is everyone's duty. Child abuse can happen anywhere, in the home, institutions, churches, sports clubs. It's not exclusive to any nationality, ethnicity or religion, and all should be condemned. All children should be brought up in a safe environment, nurtured and protected from harm. But sadly, that isn't the case for some children. Today I'm going to speak about a very specific kind of sexual child abuse. The sexual abuse and torture of mainly young white vulnerable girls by predominantly Pakistani Muslim men. This might be an uncomfortable truth, but it's been brushed under the carpet for far too long, for fear of accusations of racism. Nobody should be discriminated against because of their ethnicity, their religion, but neither should they be exempt from punishment when they commit crimes. These men basically sold young girls, some as young as 11, into sex slavery in towns and cities across the UK. Those who should have been responsible for protecting those young girls turned a blind eye and even covered up for them. The police, social services, schools, children's homes, local authorities and councillors. This has gone on for decades. Yes, a few of these rape gang members have been jailed, but many have now been released and returned to the same towns that their victims live in. However, the vast majority of these gangs have never been prosecuted, and nobody in authority has ever been held to account. Those few brave people who did try to speak up were vilified and often lost their jobs. Maggie Oliver had to resign from the police after years of trying to get justice for the girls. She's still trying. Tommy Robinson was demonised for speaking out and exposing the gangs and is now in prison. None of the investigations into these gangs has ever been truly effective. Only a full national statutory inquiry can get those girls the justice they deserve, the perpetrators the punishment they deserve, and those who covered up need to be held accountable. But like Nick says, an inquiry is not enough. We need prosecutions and we need people jailing. We need to force the government to hold a full inquiry. Unbelievably, some councils are still against this. A couple of weeks ago I tried to put forward my motion to Wigan Council that they write to the government to demand an inquiry. The chair of the meeting said there was no time for my motion. To me it was the most important motion. I refused to be silenced and began to read my motion regardless. The councillors, all the Labour councillors bar one, walked out. This was videoed and went viral. 2 days later the meeting was reconvened and my motion was passed. But I still wasn't allowed to read it out. They don't want to hear what happened to those girls, but their voices should be heard. But it does show the power of the people. The council were forced into voting for a public inquiry, not because of me, because of the public outcry and the bad press that they got. Again here today, let us demand a full inquiry. Make our voices heard. This must never be allowed to happen again, but sadly young girls are still being groomed and raped by the gangs, and boys. It needs to stop now, as does all abuse of children. Thanks for listening to me, and thanks to every one of you for turning out today to show your support for any child who has suffered abuse of any kind. And could I please ask you all, can you please, when you go home today, just take a few minutes, find out who your local councillor is and your MP, and please write to them, email them and tell them, demand a full inquiry, public inquiry into this. Local ones are no use. People cannot afford to be given evidence in a local inquiry. Please do it. Let's keep the pressure up. I met with a councillor contacted me from St Helens Council yesterday. I met with him and he is putting the same motion forward, because, be honest, we're not going to get Labour councillors, or very few, putting this motion forward. We need independents, whoever, UKIP Reform, other councillors to put it forward, Conservatives. Keep the pressure up, keep the ball rolling, get every council in this country I mean, Oldham's done it now. If Oldham's been forced into do it, we can do it with our own local councils. Thank you for speaking to me, listening to me.